Entrepreneurs out there, have you started your marketing journey? If you haven't, we're going to talk about it on today's podcast.
I've spent the last 20 years studying, teaching, and coaching people to find their greatness and take their lives to the next level. Along the way, it's become evident that emotions are at the root of everybody's successes and failures. Worry and fear are the enemies, and it's time to forge the armor and earn the tools to overcome the two things that could single-handedly destroy your future. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson, and I'm a life coach, a peak performance trainer, and I'm the emotions guy. It's time to take back control of how you feel, control of how you act, and control of how you experience life. It's time to become a lifer, a new breed of overachiever focused on living every minute to its fullest. We are responsible for how we feel, and no one and no thing can make us feel anything. Emotional mastery is our journey, and emotional education and intelligence is the key. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life.
What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast, and I'm so excited you joined me today because we're going to talk about marketing. You know, that thing we're supposed to do, that thing you should have learned about, that thing maybe we should have got a degree in, but if you did, it probably didn't help. So let's get real. Let's jump right in, because talking about marketing can mean a lot of different things, and yet the marketing world today has changed so much. It's changed massively from what's being taught in school. So I'm sorry if you got a nice college education on it. There is a whole lot to learn about what's going on in the marketing world. Now, there are a couple different levels of marketing, and one of them is that level where you're talking about a big corporation like McDonald's or Chase Bank or something, and they hire a marketing company, and that marketing company comes in and does their thing. And that's cool. You know, they have a lot of resources to be able to do it. And in those instances, there are teams that are dedicated to be able to find out and figure out the process that is going to work best for that big, huge corporation. Now, you go all the way down to the other end of the spectrum, which is, are you a solopreneur? Are you somebody who is just getting started and you're looking at it and going, well, you know, the marketing couldn't be that important, right? It's not that big of a deal. I just got to sell my thing. Well, there is sales. And so if you're asking yourself yet what the difference is between marketing and sales, that's understandable. To sell something is the act in basically the act of me saying, okay, here's this pen and I want to sell it to you. So I'm going to walk right up to you right now and go, hey, this pen is really cool. It goes with my remarkable tablet and you can only get it here. And this is how much it is. And this is the special deal. If you get this, I will give you this and as a bonus. And I'm going to try to sell you this pen. I'm going to try to give you some great value for what this pen could do. And if I do a good job, you'll exchange some money and it'll be a fair trade. If we do a good job with the sale, then you're pretty happy and I'm pretty happy. Well, that's great. But we got to jump into the marketing side. Now, marketing comes before the sale. Now, there is sales within marketing, so don't get me wrong, but marketing is interesting because as we talk about this concept and idea of marketing, we have to start to realize that to market means that we're going to take this pen to a marketplace. So what marketplace would we take this pen to? Well, now that's interesting. What marketplace would be a great place to take a pen to? Well, you know, what would be really helpful is if I took it to a whole bunch of people that really needed pens. That's a good starting point. Maybe a group of school students needed pens, so I'd take them a whole bunch of pens that were perfect for them. What about some accountants? Maybe they need some pens to write with. Okay, perfect. So I'll take it to a group of accountants. Maybe someplace that writes a lot, like a newspaper. Maybe a publisher needs pens, right? So we look for marketplaces, and this is where we can break it down a little bit, and we can say, hey, that marketplace is really great to sell this thing. And so oftentimes when we get in and start talking about marketing, it's easy to get all hyped up about this concept or this idea of marketing. But if we keep it really simple and we say, hey, I've got this thing that I want to sell. What is the best place to take this thing to sell it? Well, the place that people would want to buy it. And I know that sounds maybe overly simplistic, but if I'm going to go to sell a pen, maybe the best place to sell it isn't some place that they don't use pens. Right now, what would that be? I don't know. Maybe the swimming pool is not a great place to go sell pens, right? Because everybody's swimming and they're not writing. All right, now that's kind of a lame example, but you get the idea. If I want to market an idea, right? If I want to market this tablet, I'm going to market it to the people that I think are going to buy it. Now, there might be lots of different people that want this tablet. They might say, well, hey, I love that tablet. That's pretty cool. And what does it do? And what's it for? And how can I use it? Well, when I first found this tablet, this remarkable tablet, which is awesome, by the way, if you want to know more about it, please let me know. I love it. I can't imagine not having it now. But when I first came across it, it was 100% being marketed to artists because it has some really great functions and purposes for artists to use. I can't draw a lick. I mean, like stick figures, I have a hard time making them out, right? But they were marketing this to artists. So they were going to a marketplace where artists existed. Now, as they started to get a hold of how that message needed to come across to those artists, and they started to get something rolling there, they went, well, what other markets essentially would love to hear about this tablet? And so they started going after business people, entrepreneurs, so to speak. And they went after those business people and they said, hey, yeah, you may have seen this and you may have seen that we've been telling artists that it's really great for them. But you know what else it's really great for? It's also really great for taking notes and for organizing your ideas. And instead of having, 10 million notebooks, which I used to do, I used to buy those notebooks from Walmart or something. I have like 20 of them and I try to sift through them to find where I needed. They said, well, you know what? Business people, hey, you could write all your notes in here. You can keep them organized. You can digitize them. Oh, and by the way, you can put them on your computer in a desktop app, and you can pull them up on your phone as well. So you'll have them everywhere you go. They'll be backed up. It'll be perfect. And so now I can use my tablet anytime I want to take notes, and I don't have 20 notebooks anymore. Right? So they started pitching it to marketing it to business people. Okay, so now they have two different markets that they're pushing their product to, and it's useful in a couple different markets. And so I'm not saying that by any means you need to do that right now, but I'd love you to think about this. You are likely an entrepreneur here listening. If you're not, maybe you should consider it. Right, there you go. Maybe you have something really special and really amazing that you can offer the world, and there is a way to market this. Now, sales is another extension of marketing, because obviously in the marketing, there is a little bit of a sale going on, because I'm trying to convince somebody that they need this thing that I have, and I want to bring it to you because I believe it's going to help you. I believe it's going to be a fair trade. And if I do something really great and trade you fairly, then hey, you might give me a chicken and I might give you this tablet. Well, at least that's how it used to be with the bartering days, right? Now we utilize the money system, and that's great. So we will continue to use that in the best way possible. And if we can make a fair trade, now you're happy and I'm happy and everybody gets along great, right? Now, marketing and sales oftentimes get sort of a bad rap, and it's easy for that to happen because of the idea that sometimes people don't make fair trades. Sometimes people get that pen or that tablet and they go, hey, this doesn't do what you said it was going to do. And then they're not happy. And that happens all the time. And so what we want to do as marketers and salespeople and owners and entrepreneurs is that we want to make sure that we're making good, fair trades. Okay. Now, in terms of the marketing element, you have to ask yourself, are you a marketer? Well, some people go, well, no, I'm a business owner. I am indeed the person who came up with the idea. I don't want to be a marketer. Well, you better be. You see, marketing is inundated. And if you haven't started your journey yet of marketing your thing, again, you could be at the very start of your journey or you could be on the back end. Maybe for some reason you are an executive at Chase Bank and you're listening to this right now because you happened upon my podcast. And if you are, listen closely. You need to be a marketer. And I understand that you have your proficiencies. Maybe you're really great at the numbers. Maybe you're really great at the finance side of things. Maybe you're really great at managing people. That's great. But everybody needs to understand and learn how to be a marketer. Who are you bringing your product to? How can you get it in front of the right market? And there are so many different ways to do this. And marketing in today's internet and online world has changed massively. And we would also call that digital marketing, right? Your digital online experience has changed massively. And so some people would say to me, and I have this often, hey, I run a brick and mortar business. I don't need marketing. I'm doing all my stuff real life. I have a building. Well, that's great. So do I, and I understand that. And you still have to do a fair amount of marketing. In fact, you probably do some marketing. In the old days, one of the classic examples of early marketing was putting your advertisement in the phone book. Because it used to be that if you needed somebody's phone number or business's phone number, you'd go and open the phone book and look through that phone book to find who you were going to work with. And the marketing tactics began even then, right? Because back then in the Yellow Pages, what people would do to get a better vision of their thing is they would name their company ABC Plumbing. Why? Because if you went to the plumbing section, they wanted to be the first one you saw because you were more likely to pull up the first one you saw and call that person. So you had a whole lot of these trade companies and brick and mortar businesses that would name themselves ABC something or A plus something or A1 this or that because they wanted to be the first one in the phone book. Right? And this is early concepts and early ideas of marketing. If only it were that easy. It's not about that anymore. Now we've got to go and we've got to find the marketplace that we are going to create a message for that person that needs our thing, that we know we can help, that we know we can actually get them from point A to point B with our service, with our product, with our thing that we're doing. And you have to learn how to do the marketing behind it. And honestly, there are so many strategies. And so on the podcast, we talk a lot about mindset. And one of the mindset concepts that I want to address in this episode in talking about marketing is that I hear so many times from entrepreneurs all over that, well, I'm not a marketer. Can't I just hire somebody to do that? Well, you can. And if you're real lucky, they'll be great and they'll do a good job. But the likelihood is you're not going to be happy and they can't sell your thing as well as you can sell your thing. And so you understanding and learning the marketing is huge. Now, what about hiring a marketing agency? Well, that could work. That could absolutely work. First of all, they better be dang good. And the better they are, the more they're going to cost. So you're going to have to be able to trade something there. Now, the other side of it is that they're going to need your input. And so you're still going to have a level of understanding in marketing that you're going to need. And so when we talk about mindset here, we're talking about this idea that you can learn it. You can overcome that hurdle of saying, well, I'm not a marketer and I don't really like that stuff. Well, that's fine. You don't have to love it. You don't have to love a lot of things that you do in business, but there are still a lot of things that you need to do. If you don't do the accounting, the business will die. If you don't do the sales, the business will die. If you don't do the marketing, the business will die. And you may have experienced that, or you may have had some challenges along the way doing that marketing. And so what I'd love for you to think about here is, what can you do from a marketing perspective to help improve your sales? Because there are different phases of that marketing, and it could be something as simple as starting to understand funnels, because Funnels are an integral part of your marketing. Now, do they have to be complicated funnels? No. In fact, there's lots of different types of funnels you can use to help your marketing efforts. And that's a big deal, right? Whether you're using just a straight up, hey, subscribe to our tribe kind of a funnel. Those are simple. Those are simple squeeze pages that you go and you put them up and somebody gives you their email because they want to know more about you. And if you don't have something like that set up and a whole sequence set up, you're missing out on the money on the back end, because somebody may want to get in touch with you and they may want to know more about you and they may want to get involved. But if you don't have something set up for them to come into your world and continue to follow you, that's huge. Now, we have all done this. We have all gotten involved with the company and we have loved their thing, but we weren't ready to buy. And so we put in our email and we started to find out more about them. But if they don't actually contact you, they may not know when you're ready. So what the best companies do in their marketing is they stay in touch and they keep offering wonderful little tidbits of things they can do for you. And you've probably had that experience where you have known about a company, known about something that you wanted to purchase, and you may have found out about it years before. And you just weren't ready. You weren't in the right place. But then all of a sudden you were in the right place and you were like, I know who I'm going to go to, because that company prepped it over maybe years. And so that's our goal as adding this idea and concept of being a marketer in your own company to the mix. You've got to become a marketer. And it could be something as simple as maybe you run a YouTube channel. You still got to be a marketer. You still have to have that hat that you can put on. And so if you're going to do that, there are lots of different resources. There's lots of different ways for you to do that. I'd love to be a little bit of a guide for you. If you need some help, please let me know. Put it in the comments below. If this episode has helped you, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on iTunes, give us a great rating for the podcast. If you love it, let us know. Let us know. If you don't, that's fine. Let us know that too. Whatever you got to do, let us know about the podcast. If you're loving it and you're loving all these things that we're putting, we've got some different things coming up your way. We've got some beautiful interviews and some wonderful people that are going to join us on the Magic for Life podcast. And we're going to start talking a lot more about marketing and some of the things that go along with this idea. So make sure you tune into all of those episodes. Anyway, I appreciate you being here. Go start to get into your journey of marketing. If you need some guidance, I can guide you. If you want some help with your own marketing and strategy, let me know, because I know who we can get you to. I know how we can get you some help, and let us help it serve you in the best way possible. I'm so excited that you are here and part of the Magic for Life family. You're on your life or journey, and I love it. I'd love to hear about your life or journey. Send me something in the email, info@magicforlife.com, and let me know how your life or journey is going. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, peace out.
Hey lifers, we expect upgrades to the base operating functions of the things like our phones, cars, and even refrigerators. Why then has it not been made a priority that we upgrade the operating systems of our emotional states? We dance around the subject of emotional mastery from a young age. We have so much more knowledge in today's world, yet we're still teaching outdated methods of emotional education, if any are being taught at all. It's time for a change. It's time for an upgrade to our emotional education. Let me help you learn how to do that. Pick up your free copy of Every Minute at everyminutebook.com.